Yo, this video is about the moon's aura. Friday, September 16th, 2016 was the day of the harvest full moon. It was around 10 or 11 o'clock that I decided that I would go outside and look at the moon. I had read a little bit online about some information in regards to the moon and in regards to astrological significance. So when I got outside, I had to move around a little bit because I had to get a good angle to see the moon. I had to go a little bit farther away from my house, closer to where the street begins. And I stared at the moon for a little bit, and it looked like a normal full moon. Didn't see anything different about it, really. And then I started to stare harder at it, and I started to kind of relax my eyes and squint and open my eyes really big, just mess with the way I was looking at it. Then after a little bit of time, not that much, I started to see something. I started to see a white round shape in front of the moon. And this white round shape had a blue ring around it. And it seemed to be getting bigger, and then I noticed that this thing would almost pulsate, or it would morph. So it would be one size, and then it would get bigger and smaller and bigger and smaller, and kind of change its shape, and then change its shape and get bigger. Sometimes it looked quite like an egg shape, and then some other times it looked more like a circular shape. So after a while of staring at it, I came to the realization that perhaps I was seeing the aura of the moon. And in a previous video, I talked about the first time I saw auras. And that previous time I saw auras was like the only time prior to this that I had really seen auras. So it was quite a surprise that I was seeing the moon's aura. And when I had seen auras in the past, at that time I talked about, I could only really see them with my eyes closed. When I was looking at the moon, my eyes were completely, they were open. My eyes were open. I was messing with my eyes a little bit, but what I saw was definitely not just my eyes playing tricks on me. And another thing too that I want to add was that I was completely sober during this experience. I had not drank anything, I didn't smoke weed or anything like that. So I knew for sure that what I was seeing was actually happening. The aura of the moon at certain points was 3 or 4 times larger than the actual moon. So it was that big. Like, say the moon is this big, it was like that big. Outside of the blue ring, there was also other things around the aura. I don't know if it was the outer aura or what, but it was almost like faint, very, very faint colors, almost like a mix of colors the way a rainbow would be, but it wasn't in the standard rainbow shape or order of colors. There was just a mix of faint, very faint, almost rainbow-like colors around that main aura of the white middle and the blue ring. So I wanted to know if this was a one-time thing or not. So I went inside, came back outside, the moon looks normal, but then when I focus on it, then I could see the same aura again. So I realized that it wasn't just a one-time thing. I wasn't hallucinating or something like that. It's actually there. And then the other day, I believe the second night after this, I went out and looked at the moon, and I could still see the aura. I didn't see the rainbow, faint rainbowish lines around the aura. I'm not sure if that has to do with the energies of the harvest moon, but I did see the white part and the blue ring. And then I also, later that night, smoked some weed and looked at the aura, and I could see the aura still. So that just lets me know that I can still see auras when I'm high. So I believe now that I can see the moon's aura whenever I want to. I just have to focus on it in a certain way. And I'm going to try to experiment with seeing the auras of other things, like people and animals maybe, or whatever. If you want to know more about my experiences, I encourage you to follow my blog on Steemit Blog, and I'll put the link in the description. I hope you enjoyed my story. Thanks for listening, and Amori Paz.